Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 421 narrated Anas, some goods came to Allah's Messenger from Bahrain. The Prophet ordered the people to spread them in the mosque. It was the biggest amount of goods Allah's Messenger had ever received. He left for prayer and did not even look at it. After finishing the prayer, he sat by those goods and gave from those to everybody he saw. Abbas came to him and said, "O Allah's Messenger, give me something, too, because I gave ransom for myself and Aqil." Allah's Messenger told him to take. So he stuffed his garment with it and tried to carry it away, but he failed to do so. He said, "O Allah's Messenger, order someone to help me in lifting it." The Prophet refused. He then said to the Prophet, "Will you please help me to lift it?" Allah's Messenger refused. Then Abbas threw some of it and tried to lift it, but failed. He again said, "O Allah's Messenger, order someone to help me to lift it." He refused. Abbas then said to the Prophet, "Will you please help me to lift it?" He again refused. Then Abbas threw some of it, and lifted it on his shoulders and went away. Allah's Messenger kept on watching him till he disappeared from his sight and was astonished at his greediness. Allah's Messenger did not get up till the last coin was distributed. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 422 narrated Anas, I found the Prophet in the mosque along with some people. He said to me, "Did Abu Talha send you?" I said, "Yes." He said, "For a meal?" I said, "Yes." Then he said to his companions, "Get up." They set out and I was ahead of them. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 423 narrated Sahl bin Sa'id, a man said, "O Allah's Messenger, if a man finds another man with his wife committing adultery, should the husband kill him?" Later on I saw them, the man and his wife, doing li'an in the mosque, taking oaths, one accusing, and the other denying adultery. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 424 narrated Itban bin Malik, the Prophet came to my house and said, "Where do you like me to pray?" I pointed to a place. The Prophet then said, "Allahu Akbar," and we aligned behind him and he offered a 2-rakat prayer. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 425 narrated Itban bin Malik, who was one of the companions of Allah's Messenger, and one of the Ansars who took part in the Battle of Badr. I came to Allah's Messenger, and said, "O Allah's Messenger, I have weak eyesight and I lead my people in prayers. When it rains the water flows in the valley between me and my people, so I cannot go to their mosque to lead them in prayer. O Allah's Messenger, I wish you would come to my house and pray in it so that I could take that place as a masala." Allah's Messenger said, "Allah willing, I will do so." Next day after the sun rose high, Allah's Messenger and Abu Bakr came and Allah's Messenger asked for permission to enter. I gave him permission and he did not sit on entering the house but said to me, "Where do you like me to pray?" I pointed to a place in my house. So Allah's Messenger stood there and said, "Allahu Akbar," and we all got up and aligned behind him and offered a 2-rakat prayer and ended it with Taslim. We requested him to stay for a meal called Kazira, which we had prepared for him. Many members of our family gathered in the house and one of them said, "Where is Malik bin al-Dakhshan or Ibn al-Dakhshan?" One of them replied, "He is a hypocrite and does not love Allah and his apostle." Hearing that, Allah's Messenger said, "Do not say so. Haven't you seen that he said, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah for Allah's sake only'?" He said, "Allah and his apostle know better. We have seen him helping and advising hypocrites." Allah's Messenger said, "Allah has forbidden the hell fire for those who say, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah for Allah's sake only.'" Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 426 narrated Aisha, the Prophet used to start everything from the right for good things whenever it was possible in all his affairs. For example, in washing, combing or wearing shoes. Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 427 narrated Aisha, Habiba and Salama mentioned about a church they had seen in Ethiopia in which there were pictures. They told the Prophet about it, on which he said, "If any religious man dies amongst those people they would build a place of worship at his grave and make these pictures in it. They will be the worst creature in the sight of Allah on the day of resurrection." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 428 narrated Anas, when the Prophet arrived in Medina, he dismounted at a wali in Medina amongst a tribe called Banu Amr bin Auf. He stayed there for 14 nights. Then he sent for Bani and Nayar, and they came armed with their swords. As if I am looking just now, as the Prophet was sitting over his Rahila mount, with Abu Bakr riding behind him and all Banu and Nayar around him, till he dismounted at the courtyard of Abu Ayyub's house. The Prophet loved to pray wherever the time for the prayer was due, even at sheepfolds. Later on he ordered that a mosque should be built and sent for some people of Banu and Nayar and said, "O Banu and Nayar, suggest to me the price of this walled piece of land of yours." They replied, "No, by Allah, we do not demand its price except from Allah." Anas added, "There were graves of pagans in it, and some of it was unleveled, and there were some date palm trees in it." The Prophet ordered that the graves of the pagans be dug out and the unleveled land be leveled and the date palm trees be cut down. So all that was done. They aligned these cut date palm trees towards the Qibla of the mosque as a wall, and they also built 2 stone side walls of the mosque. His companions brought the stones while reciting some poetic verses. The Prophet was with them, and he kept on saying, "There is no goodness except that of the hereafter, O Allah. So please forgive the Ansars and the emigrants." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 429 narrated Abu al-Tayya. Anas said, "The Prophet prayed in the sheepfold. Later on I heard him saying, he prayed in the sheepfolds before the construction of the mosque." Sahieh Eal-Bukhari 430 narrated Nafi, "I saw Ibn Umar praying while taking his camel as a sutra in front of him, and he said, I saw the Prophet doing the same."